On average, Americans drive just over 13,000 miles a year. Why not make it entertaining? That's Toyota's mission with the 2022 GR86. Not everyone can work a sporty 2+2 into their lifestyles, but it's worth trying. The second generation, that now gets a Gazoo racing badge, is a sign there's more grrr in the experience.
Now, as you know, we co-developed this vehicle with Subaru, a partnership that makes niche cars like this possible. However, we made sure that the GR86 has a unique personality indicative of the AE86 and reflective of Toyota Gazoo Racing.
Subi's BRZ is supposedly tuned much differently than 86 now, but that's a comparison for another day. Toyota says this is a much improved car and has brought automotive writers to the Monticello Motor Club in New York State on a very hot, humid day to prove it with road and track time.
Toyota engineers had an advantage when re-engineering the 86 since for years the tuner crowd has obsessed over this car, giving the engineers strong clues on what to do to appeal to enthusiasts.
For sure, the loudest voice we had from the previous generation 86 to this new GR86 was to enhance performance both in torque and also in rigidity. So we addressed both of those. We bumped the motor up to a 2.4 liter, so raised the horsepower of the torque. We also brought the torque curve down, so it was at 6,600 RPM before, it's at 3,700 RPM now, and the rigidity of this is increased by 50%, so much stiffer, and you'll see when you get on the track.
Before we do that, let's check out the changes. The hood remains aluminum. Now the roof and front fenders are made of that light stuff. Underneath the sleeker look is a stronger steering box mount and a beefed up architecture.
We kept the foundation of the actual chassis, but again, we really looked at what points we could mount not only the shocks and the suspension to give it more of a driving feel and a rigidity, and then also we reinforced it in the back.
The premium model gets a duckbill butt and upgrades the 17-inch wheels to 18s. And since I'm talking about the premium, I'll point out that the interior gets a more upmarket vibe with Alcantara trim all over. It covers the deeply bolstered chairs too, which add heat. But don't fret, budget buyers. Toyota says the base model here, that starts at well under $30,000, gets the same important performance bits as the expensive one, but you'll be motoring with cloth seats and no suede accents. Fair enough. The powertrain is the same in both, a naturally aspirated Subaru 2.4-liter boxer engine that lays deep in the bay for a low center of gravity. Check out the startup animation. There's a nod to the horizontal piston layout.
228 horsepower, up from 205 from the previous manual model, and 184 pound-feet of torque, up from 156 of the previous manual model. But most importantly, which I think you'll feel today, is this number right here. 3,700 RPM is the peak torque, so a very linear torque curve.
There are two gearboxes, a 6-speed manual that's been revised.
Internal strengthening, just to make sure we handle the increased power. But we've even addressed some of the shifting design to make sure that shifts are smoother and easier for our drivers. So fourth gear specifically, we've improved.
The updated automatic also has 6 speeds and rev matching. Shift manually from here or here. The auto box gets more drive modes than the manual, including snow. And if you want auto emergency braking with pedestrian detection, adaptive cruise, and lane departure warning, you will be getting the self-shifter, where those are standard. Before I hit the track, know that the brakes are 11.6-inch vented discs in front, 11.4 in back. Properly rear drive, there's a Torsen limited slip differential. GR86 rides with a McPherson strut set up in front, double wishbone in back.
Important test number 1, do I fit with a helmet? Yes, I do. I'm 5'9".
I've been given a quick overview of the Monticello Motor Club track that's billiard table smooth.
All right, I am driving the 6-speed manual. This is good. This is my first time on this track, so forgive me.
Full disclosure, I'm a good driver, but no Lewis Hamilton. It's a new car, a new track, and there's always a learning curve. Stability control can be helpful on the first lap.
With the new torque curve, this car is a lot more drivable, a lot of fun.
With 228 horsepower moving a car that's just over 2,800 pounds, it's hard to get into too much trouble. Getting comfortable comes quickly. It says a lot about the car.
Engineers said that they reduced body roll. That is truth in advertising. Nice and flat.
There's less shifting and the power doesn't bog down. Enhanced engine noise comes in through a dash speaker. I could live without that. Toyota claims there's a near 50-50 weight balance. This is a car that's worn like a jetpack.
A little whoop-de-doo here. Great fun.
Nope, this isn't a muscle machine. There is the old chestnut that it's more fun to drive a slow car hard than a fast one cautiously. That applies here, though I wouldn't say 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds is pokey. The GR is quick, the engine is punchy fun.
The great thing is you can feel the back end break out just a little bit. You can oversteer this car very nicely, very easily.
Toyota even brought 2020 models for comparison driving. It's easy to tell the difference.
Another whoop-de-doo. Very nice. Wow, really planted.
The shift action is quite good, and there's an available short throw kit. I'm a Miata owner, and that's the dynamic I'm used to, probably why I'm biased towards the Mazda feel.
They've done a nice job with the manual transmission, too. Fourth gear feels a lot better.
There's a wisp of rain happening. The Michelin rubber remains very predictable. I'm not feeling any brake fade. Feels like the Monticello track encourages drifting. It's a fun course.
Wow, all in all, the engineers have done their homework. Nice vehicle. Loads of fun.
So yeah, if you plan to track a GR86, you'll be having a good romp. Let's take a hard look at the premium model interior. It's been upgraded from the previous generation and keeps its business-like form factor. Everything is clear and easy to read, which is what you want when you're driving hard. It is pretty dark and monochromatic. Door releases have a great shape, but feel a bit plasticky. You want plush? Well, then buy a BMW M440i or Toyota's upgrade path, either the Supra 2 or 3 liter. Designers did their best to give owners storage space. This isn't a large car. The center console has a couple cup holders in it. The Premium gets an upgraded sound system. Sorry, didn't even turn it on. I had very limited shoot time. Both models get seats that are grippy. The Premium's Alcantara chairs have a little extra side bolstering for hard cornering. I spent nearly no time with the user interface. It seems like a basic Subaru design. Android and CarPlay are standard. All GR86s get leather here and here for the best tactile feel. Thanks, Toyota. This is a 2+2, not a family sedan, so not much room for adults here. Kids might get a kick out of it, though.
The streets, not as exciting as the track, I get it. But that is where 86s will spend most of their time. They have a route along the track here that we can drive. Let's see how this does in the real world.
Hey, if you commute on twisting roads, this could be a blast. For a sports car, GR86 is fine as far as road noise goes. It's no Lexus, but it's not loud and boomy in here, and the suspension, while firm, is far from harsh.
So even though the engineers have tuned the suspension for less body roll, it's still comfortable. And let's face it, that's important because your significant other is going to be riding shotgun. Want to keep them happy, right?
Those that feel intimidated driving around hulking SUVs, a reminder, this isn't very large, about 2 inches longer than the outgoing Hachiroku, and it's low because, well, it's a sports car.
This is the automatic transmission, and it's seamless in operation. Now, I'm not the kind of guy that says you must get a manual transmission, but I kind of feel in this kind of car, it deserves a manual. I understand why people want automatics in the city, but really consider a manual. It really makes a difference in this.
That said, when it comes to fuel economy, Toyota says the automatic averages 24 miles per gallon, which is 3 better than the manual, and premium fuel is specified.
I'm not familiar with this part of New York, so I have no idea where the nearest Costco is, and the track club doesn't have enough TP for me to do the test, so it's just a simple look at the trunk this time.
This is what 6.26 cubic feet of cargo room looks like. A suitcase might fit, it'll be tight. With space-saving hinge arms, the Toyobaru team did what they could. There's an optional subwoofer that goes back here, and it's easily removable, which is kind of clever. The seat back is one piece. It does not split. Toyota says that owners can haul a set of 4 tires to the track. All right, sports car fans, let's get to red light, green light. Green light. Toyota improved the power delivery, body dynamics, and manual transmission shift quality. In other words, it listened to owners. The price will remain affordable. Toyota says it will start at well under $30,000 once pricing is fully announced. The design is more cohesive now. It was never awkward, but the improved confidence and grace of the styling is easy to see. Yellow lights. It is a practical daily driver, so long as you don't need an exceptionally roomy vehicle. Those that want safety tech, like automatic emergency braking, must go with the automatic transmission. For a sports car, cargo room is fine, but buy a Veloster N or GTI if you need to haul a lot of stuff on a regular basis. Red light. Even on the premium model, I find the cabin, which is improved, to be a dark basic space with a rudimentary user interface. For a small car, fuel economy on premium gas will eat into your tire budget. And finally, owners will need to endure fanboy comparisons over which is better, GR86 or Subaru BRC. It's like arguing who's the best dancer in BTS. It's a matter of personal taste. The reality is, Toyota, and eventually Subaru, are offering enthusiasts the gift of driving enjoyment at a reasonable price. It's much more entertaining to drive 13,000 miles in this than an SUV. And every 86 comes with a year's membership to the National Autosport Association and a complimentary high-performance driving experience session to help get the most out of the car. It's authentic, balanced, affordable, and as practical as a sports coupe can be. Improved in every way, the 86 earns its GR badge. These events that I go to are staffed by amazing people that work their butts off. A shout out to them. The Monticello Motor Club staff went above and beyond, plus everything, and I do mean everything, was branded, right down to masks, H2O, and the mirrors in the men's room. If you're in the New York area, club initiation fees start at just $70,000 for individuals, $145,000 for families. Man, I need to make more money. Remember 5 years ago when Toyota's reputation was basic, bland transportation? Even if it had to team up with BMW and Subaru to add pizzazz to its lineup, kudos to the Big T for keeping driving fun alive when other brands have abandoned it. And about the gearboxes, what's your guess on the take rate of manual versus automatic transmission? Think about it for a moment. Have your answer locked in? All right, here's the lowdown from the company itself.
We expect when we launch this new generation, initially the take rate on manual to go up to 30%, but even then, as compared to certainly 10 or 15 years ago, it's less. So we're expecting out of the gate about a 30% take on the manual, and then over time it will decline, which is typical in the segment.
Hope you got some good information out of my first look at the 2022 Toyota GR86. I always leave you with a fun fact. This one, maybe not so fun, because it involves power or lack of it. I talked to the engineers on hand and they say, no, this is not going to get a turbo, all right? But there is a stair step up for more fun. You can always go with 2-liter Supra or even the 3-liter Supra, all right? So you have power options. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe every Tuesday. A great car review video like this. And hey, I shot this one in about 3 hours. It was quick. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk.